walking with the ghost.
Dracula emerges from his coffin and surfaces on Whitby Beach. He is met by Dr. Zoe Van Helsing, who tells him that 123 years have passed. He tries to feed on her, but her blood makes him vomit. He is imprisoned in a laboratory for study, and his blood is sampled. However, he contacts a lawyer who threatens to expose their illegal operations, and he is released. Zoe drinks Dracula's blood and begins to experience Sister Agatha's memories. Dracula becomes infatuated by Lucy Westenra, a young socialite who does not fear him, and plans to make her his bride. Zoe, dying of cancer, begins to merge with Agatha's personality. Zoe travels to Dracula's London home. Lucy, now undead, also arrives but is horrified at what she has become and is killed by her own request. Zoe exposes Dracula to the sunlight, who is unaffected. Zoe explains that Dracula fears death above all and is greatly ashamed of this. He has conditioned himself to believe the legends as they allowed him to hide himself from society that he feels unworthy of. Zoe dies and Dracula drinks her poisoned blood. The two share an epiphany in the sunlight. That is the synopsis of the final episode of season one, episode three, entitled "The Dark Compass," for Dracula on Netflix. What did I think about this episode? I loved the first two, and I think it's just because of the fact that it takes place in, you know, old time, where we normally would see Dracula, right? In this castle in London or in that type of just setting. And this was like a modern day setting. 123 years later, Dracula is has returned, and you know, I kind of feel like this episode was kind of like a letdown. To me, it's like it wasn't bad, but wasn't as good as the first two. I mean, the second one really was my favorite one, Blood Vessel, or Blood Vessel, I should say. But this one was like, yeah, they want to put him in a modern day setting. 123 years later, bumps into an ancestor or a descendant of Sister Agatha's, and he becomes obsessed with this Lucy Westenra, which I think she really was just a pitiful type of character, like someone who's just like how socialites are. They just care about the limelight. They care about going out, using people for what they can use them for, and then moving on to the next. I mean, she was willing to get married to this dude from Texas, and she wasn't even really sure how she likes him. As she explained to her gay friend, like, yeah, I like him, and then he's out. Do you love her? And I go, well, everybody loves me. She's just infatuated with her beauty. So it's like when you see how she looks like, afterwards, like, Dr. Dracula told her because he was feeding on her, and she, like it says in the synopsis, she really wasn't scared of him. She let him, feed on her, and he told her that if you die, don't get cremated because that's what she wanted to do. She says she's going to be cremated. But what does she do? She ends up having herself cremated, and when she comes back to life, because of course she was bitten by Dracula, she's like a walking charred corpse. Doesn't see it until Agatha gives her her cell phone and says, take a selfie." When she takes a selfie, not only does she see her image in that selfie, but then she starts looking at her hands, and I guess that's what triggered her to be able to see what she looks like. She looked at her hands, she noticed her hands. I was thinking, why did she like know? How did she not know her like that? But I don't, I guess the selfie triggered that. I guess, but it's nice to see the actress that plays the Sister Agatha and also her descendant Zoe. Very very good actress, and I really liked her. I didn't like her at first, the when Sister Agatha first popped up, and then she kind of grew on me towards the end. Um, you know, actress was Dolly Wells, and she did a good job. I liked her. But Klaus Bang, really, really a great Dracula. Really embodied the role, and he did a great job. Now, to me, the way it ended was very just it just like happened, and then I was that. You know, there's people like on YouTube now that are breaking it down and saying what it is, and I have not looked at those videos, and I'm not going to speculate on it in the sense that I'm not going to try to watch their videos and then try to bring it here because it's like that's not my thing to do. That's their thing, and it's not good to be able to do to watch someone's video and then try to act like that that was my synopsis too. But to me, I think basically I believe that he just accepted his fate. It kind of looks like he knew. This is what I'm thinking right now. It just popped into my head. He knew that from this point on that he was going to die a regular human being's death. The sunlight didn't affect him. And I mean the cross kind of still did, but it's almost like I don't know. It's just because of the fact that he conditioned himself to believe in those myths and stuff like that, and he accepted them, I guess, because for some reason, the sunlight didn't affect him, didn't bother him. So I'm thinking that he knows he's gonna die because it's like he's not Dracula no more. I don't know. The sun didn't affect him. Sunlight didn't affect him. So is he like going, okay, I'm going to, you know, die now. I'm gonna face the one thing that I did not want to face, because I believe that's what she surmised that's his fear, because her fear, yeah, actually, that's why he was so attracted to that girl because she didn't fear death, and I guess he figured, okay, well, after she died, Zoe, he drank her blood, and that blood kills Dracula. So I guess he still is Dracula, and I guess he figured, he didn't want to live anymore, and so he drank her blood. Because when he vomited in the first time when he went to go bite her and drink her blood, he was puking it up. You know, I thought it was like blood poisoning, like he's just drank too much blood and he just couldn't take it at that time. But that's what it was because she had cancer. So it's just a very like just like that. Just quickly just end the episode and end the series. I mean, not the series, but the season. Now, to me, it's weird how they made this into a series like a and they split it up in 3 episodes. But it's like, are they gonna come back and do a second season? I mean, this actually, I believe it was presented in Britain, in the UK. It was presented as a miniseries, and they usually don't have sequels to miniseries. If they do, it's like years down the road, like they did with Roots, and they did with some of these others that they did sequels, but they were like years down the road. But overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't like the whole going into the future and modern day surroundings. I mean, I know what they're trying to do, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt the series. I really enjoyed it. I think it really was something different, where they presented 3 episodes, and the 3 episodes were in hour and a half blocks, and that was actually pretty unique. It's something that kind of makes it to where it's enough time to get into a one episode, and you're not asking, okay, what's the rest of it. You can kind of wait till you watch the next episode that way. But I don't know if it's going to be a template for a lot of other shows. I don't think they're going to want to do that. They want to be able to pump out a lot of shows, a lot of per episodes. I mean, per season, so that But it might open up something for other shows to kind of tackle that way of presenting your show, especially for the ones who are impatient and don't want to just watch 30-minute blocks, and then they have to go through and then they'll go through one season in one whole one setting, like how they present it with Netflix, right? They always give you the whole series, the whole I should say whole season in that one setting. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and you know, despite not liking the way it went, the episode, and even how it ended, and how it makes you just think even more about what it was about. But I enjoyed the entire episode season, and I really enjoyed it. Like I said, So for those of you who stopped by and checked out this video, I appreciate it. And in closing, and as always, take care.